Hi, folks, and welcome to episode 157 of the Cycling Hokkaido podcast. I have two guests today, Denise and Riley. But before we get started, I would like to give a shout out to TC. TC is the very first member of the Bear Bell Club. TC, thank you for joining. It means a lot. And by the way, folks, TC has been listening to the show since way back. It's always great hearing from you, TC. Thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Okay, folks. Denise and Riley, welcome to the show. How's it going?
Yeah, we're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, cool. And you guys are starting something really cool called the Wakaranai Lodge. The I Don't Know Lodge.
That's it. Easy name to remember.
Yes. And where are you from? How long have you been in Japan?
We moved to Japan in December, and I am
Of
from,
2025.
yes, December last year, so 8 months ago. And I'm originally from Germany.
Germany.
And I'm come from the United States, but funny enough, I was actually born in Japan and I only lived there for 6 months before my parents moved back to the States. So
No.
in some way, I'm wrapping my circle around a bit. So
Cool. Where were you born in Japan?
I was born in Kobe, actually.
Ah, wow. Have you been back to Kobe?
I have been back once 7 years ago. I visited Japan for the first time since my parents moved home with me, and I went back and saw the house that I had lived in, and yeah,
Nice.
so
What do your parents do that took them to Kobe?
they were actually Christian missionaries, so they were
Ah.
there proselytizing, I guess. So yeah, yeah, interesting starting point of life for sure, and it's nice to come back to a place that I'm tied to on some deep level, even though I'm not Japanese. It's the place of my birth, so it definitely means something to me to be here.
Oh, very cool. So you're born in Kobe, but you've come to Hokkaido.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? What's the deal?
Maybe Honshu isn't the best fit for someone like me. I think we're here in Hokkaido for the reason that a lot of people have chosen to come to Hokkaido is they're looking for space. They're looking for people that are thinking freely and that are a bit more removed than maybe the attitudes and ideas that are closer to Tokyo and closer to that. So I think we're here for really the same reason that a lot of people are: space, fresh air,
Space and fresh air. It's
rivers,
beautiful here.
the
Yes.
ocean,
Yeah.
the mountains.
Yes.
So,
The skiing.
and the skiing for sure.
The skiing. Denise, you're a big skier.
Yes, we love to ski. We actually met 10 years ago, and every winter since we've been skiing a lot.
Very nice. And skiing in Montana. Did you guys live in America before? Germany?
I have a hard time living in America because of my visa, but yeah, we lived for 3 years in Canada. We've skied the Italian Alps, the Austrian Alps. We lived in Germany and skied in Switzerland, so we've done it all.
Yeah, we spent couple winters in Montana as well on top of it, and also we had a couple summers that we spent in Kauai and Hawaii as well. So
Oh,
we've definitely been all the places that. I mean, on some level, it's been a pursuit of paradise, right? Every place that we have always envisioned to be paradise, we said, let's go check it out, and maybe that's our home. And we kept searching around the world and wandering from place to place, trying to find what home is, and each stop of the way, reflecting on what home means to us and having a better idea of it. So we knew we would know what home is once we actually saw it.
And we saw it, and it's Wakaranai Lodge. I know.
I love that. It's been a pursuit of paradise. Gorgeous.
Maybe, yeah, for sure. It's like if you have all the free will in the world, what would you pursue? And so we asked that question to ourselves in many different ways. What would we pursue if we had all the free will and if we had all the opportunity? So we've always approached each step of the way as like, what do we want and what do we need in order to be fulfilled and to wake up every day feeling happy? And yeah, it's what we're waking up to now. And of course, nothing is perfect. We've been enough places and we've traveled enough and seen enough things to not have an idea that something's perfect. And there's issues that we still run into in our life, but it's about having the best balance of the things that are important to you. And we're really in a place where that is the case for us. So
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm so happy you guys have found almost paradise.
We're also very happy. 10 years is a long time to more or less be on the road and not having a permanent place. So most people will travel for a year or two and settle down into some life. But yeah, I kind of thought of it in a bit of the analogy of you're walking along a ridge line towards your mountaintop, and there's lots of opportunities to stop and put up camp, and maybe that's going to be your place in life. But we decided to keep walking, even though it didn't make sense, and even though we were the only ones walking that path, and even though there's lots of opportunities to stop, because we realized we weren't to our mountaintop, I guess, yet. And so we kept walking, even though it was uncomfortable. And I'm not saying this is necessarily our highest mountain in life, and who knows where life will take us into the future.
Mm.
But we've reached a place where we're happy to put down our roots and become part of the community and yeah, take a load off. So
Well, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about the future. Wakaranai Lodge. Wakaranai Lodge is going to open in December 2026, December of this year. Yeah? And what's the story behind it? You found a building that needed some renovations and you've been working on it. And is that, am I right?
Yeah, so actually, when we found it, it was operational ready for some people, but as we described, we wanted the lodge to have a certain feeling. We want the same feeling that we want to have when we feel home, we want our guests to have. And for that feeling, we just needed to put a little more work into it.
Mm.
So we decided to take a year to just make it the extra bit cozy that we want it to be.
Wow.
but we were definitely under the constraints of we're coming here on a visa, having to satisfy requirements for immigration. And part of those requirements are you need to have a place of business, you need to have it more or less operationally ready, you need to have something that the company is renting. So we were definitely under some level of constraint to find something that was more or less ready to go. And so this building not this building I feel like demeans the weight of it, but this our lodge was ready to go. And as we walked through it the first time last summer, walking around, we're like, this has really good bones. It just doesn't have the style and the flair. Not yeah, the flair, the feeling that we wanted to have, as Denise said, to make the guests and make every person that walks through the door feel comfortable and feel the feeling that we want to create. So
Yeah.
we've been working hard to get it in shape, and whether it's shakuing the walls or working on whatever project we have been working on, it's been piece by piece. We're trying to touch each corner of it and bring it to life, really. So
Yeah. Denise was saying recently you've been working on heated floors.
Yes, it's something that we like living in it in December and through our first winter, we noticed that Tomamu is definitely one of the colder places, and having somewhere that's just very ambiently heated is a huge benefit. So we wanted it to be a place where you can feel comfortable. So we decided to put in floor heating. Yeah.
so that's the project that's we're working on now, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna grind it out and have it all ready to go for the winter. But each day at a time, and waking up and working hard, and
Yeah.
yeah, so
What?
it's super exciting.
And these pamphlets, folks, I'll put some pictures of the pamphlets I've got up on the Cycling Hokkaido Instagram page. But these are really well designed. They've got a really cute story inside. Um, um, Denise, maybe would you like to explain about the story with the animals, the tanuki, the owl, the cat, all of this stuff in here?
Yeah, so we wanted to have a philosophy that represents what we want the lodge to feel like. So we see the lodge as its own being and it has a feeling in it. And for it to be described best, we found three animals that both have a character and a feeling. And Riley wrote a story about it. Actually, you go ahead and tell your story.
Yeah, I mean, we as we were kind of in the early phases of thinking about a business and thinking about what we wanted to do, we realized that we needed to identify the personal philosophies within ourselves that were the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And so we started to talk about it and articulate, and we were able to kind of boil down three main pillars of our lives that we felt were the things that we were standing on and needed to be what the structure of the business was standing on in order for there to be a consistency between our lives and who we are and the business we're creating. Because oftentimes you can feel when a business is out of alignment with someone's personal philosophy. And for us, we wanted there to be a perfect alignment between that, because this is our life and this is our life as a business. And so we didn't want to live in something where there wasn't alignment. So we identified these kind of three pillars of our life, and we understood that if we were making decisions about our business in alignment with those pillars, then there would be a consistency that would be felt from the first moment you walk through the door and through every way that you interact with us and with the business and the experience. So yeah, I wrote a story about these three woodland creatures. I mean, the cat's kind of a woodland creature, but these three creatures, and each of them are a different piece, represent a different aspect of our personal philosophies. And so yeah, we wrote the story about their relationship to the lodge and how they're, on some level, they're the stewards or the caretakers are the ones that have been responsible, and now we're joining them also as stewards of this entity that is the lodge, so.
That is so cool. And are you going to have like an owl themed room at the Tanuki fireplace?
I think they're definitely woven into the lodge. I don't know if we're going to be so overt about it. It's kind of something where it's a showing versus a telling. It's much more powerful to show someone something and to have them interact and to discover it on by themselves and to come to something than it is to just tell them it, which is on some level why I'm kind of restrained even talking about it right now. Is because, I mean, I'm explaining it to you, but I'm restrained getting into it because I don't want to just tell it all. I would rather someone come engage with it.
That being said, though, we are artists, and there are several big art projects in the lodge that there might not be owls or cats, but they are, yeah.
Things are intertwined through things, so.
Right. And so from what you're describing, it sounds like each guest will come away with a slightly different experience of staying with you.
That's really the idea. Is we and a big inspiration behind what we're doing is we have interacted with places and people in our lives that either shaped our life in some way or gave us encouragement to keep on the path that we're keeping on. And really our goal with creating something is not just to be so stagnant as just a place that people stay. We want our place to be a place where we either open up someone's eyes in some ways, we show them a way of doing that, or we inspire them to keep on whatever journey that they're on, regardless of what society tells them they should be doing, or what, to encourage them to keep living their own path, to keep walking on their own ridgeline, and to not give up till they reach their mountain.
But also, this is not a one-way relationship. I think every guest that is coming has something to offer as well, and I want to know what they offer, or what they can give me.
Yeah. Well, that's so much what I like doing with this show. Talking to new people makes me a better person. I get to experience the world through their eyes. Like right now, I mean, you guys are laying this philosophy down for your lodge, and it's beautiful. I think your ideas are incredible, and anybody would be just lucky to stay there. What kind of occupancy will you have?
We have 12 to 14 people, 6 to 7 guest rooms that we have at this point in time. And we're thinking about, that's kind of what we've identified. 14 people would be for sure on the high end of what would fit for the facilities, whether bathrooms and things like that. But right now we have a mixture of 3 rooms with double beds and then 4 rooms with 2 single beds in them.
Right. We have a really big community room with a fireplace and a kitchen that guests can use that offers a lot of places for interaction.
Yeah.
So it's not like you come and you have your room. It's like, it's supposed to be a place where you can maybe meet the person you can go ski with tomorrow.
Or ride with, or whatever it is.
Bike with.
Yeah. So that's another question I had. So you're in Tomamu. Obviously, it's very famous for skiing, like the whole Hokkaido powder snow thing, right? Tomamu is a big part of it. What kind of guests do you think you'll be catering to? Would it be mostly skiers, snowboarders, hikers, cyclists? anybody and everybody?
Yeah, actually, anyone is welcome. Funny enough, most of the people thought that we're only expecting foreigners, and I was very surprised by that because yeah, anyone is welcome. It doesn't matter what you do, what you're interested in, where you're from. It's if you want to stay with us, you're welcome to stay with us.
Yeah, we're not trying to gatekeep and only select a certain one type of person to come stay. Really, for us, the beauty of life is the synchronicities that happen between different people being in the same place and like there needs to be more mixing of different types of people, and that's something that's always inspired us. And so when we were thinking about this, and we've been thinking about community for a long time because we didn't know exactly what type of business we wanted to have. And community has always been a very crucial part of it. And the cool thing about community and the healthy thing about community is when different people from different walks of life with different interests are interacting in a space. That's when community is the healthiest. Community isn't the healthiest when everyone's doing the same thing, thinking the same thing, having the same everything. So it's really important to us to create a space where different types of people are within that space at the same time.
Wow. That is such a positive message for humanity moving forward, not just Wakaranai Lodge. I love that. Wow, that's beautiful. And yeah, the not catering to foreigners thing, that's a very interesting point because you guys being foreigners yourselves, some people would probably assume that you would be catering to foreigners. But no, I'm sure you'd have tons of guests from Tokyo, Japanese guests from Tokyo, Osaka, looking for the Hokkaido experience, searching for.
And just not only looking for the Hokkaido experience, but there's really a growing movement of people that are just looking for unique experiences. We live in such a globalized world now where it's like you're walking around Tokyo, or you're walking around Bangkok, or you're walking around Seoul, or you're walking around Berlin, or you're walking around, New York City, and it's like you're having these cookie cutter experiences where it's just because corporations have expanded, you get kind of these same feelings everywhere, and because of this, people are increasingly searching for things that are just itself and just one of one and just unique. And that's not the reason why we're trying to do something unique. We're doing something unique because that's who we are. But I think the side effect of the way that the world is developing is more and more people, regardless of where they are in the world, are looking for experiences that can only be experienced in one place. And so as we've been thinking, because initially we're like, all right, it's pretty easy to predict your foreign market. It's pretty easy to think about inbound tourism, but really what started exciting us is thinking about people from Osaka and thinking about people from Tokyo and allowing them to get out of the city and get into a space where they can be creating art and they can be reflecting on life and they can be thinking about things. For us, that makes us just as excited as, offering an experience for someone coming from the States or from Europe or somewhere else. So
creating art. Will you be doing art projects with your guests?
We kind of, we don't plan to run strictly as a guest house all 4 seasons. And that's something that we were thinking about as we were planning the lodge, because we're individuals that have different passions in life, and we knew that we couldn't just be doing the same exact thing day in, day out, 365 days a year. So one of the things that we kind of had 4 different parts of the lodge that, as we were talking about things we wanted to feel represented throughout the course of the year. We have our winter and our skiing and our guest house. And we're going to run it as a guest house for parts of the summer and the spring as well. But then interspersed through that, we want to do kind of creative retreats and getting people detoxed from technology and out into nature, doing art, really disconnecting from the world and just having a moment to regulate and take a deep breath and kind of get some space and clarity in the head. And then another part that we both have worked in tech and we're both interested by computers and working within that. And it's kind of the juxtaposition of worlds that we're interested in. So we wanted to create a place where tech teams can come and work for a week in a place, in an intentional place, and maybe be able to conceptualize and think about the things they're working on within a cool environment to kind of, as we've said, it's cool. We want to also help inspire the people that are building the future, and we want to give people the space to be able to reflect on what they're doing. And then kind of the last part is we're going to, in the future, as things develop and as we start to have revenue and income and can afford to do it, we'd like to have a creative residency. So 1 month stays for artists or writers or musicians or something to just focus on their art. So all of these things are important and part of us feeling fulfilled with having a business functioning. We don't want to be stagnating and doing just one thing all the time for the rest of our life.
That is such a great view of what your lodge is going to become. One point I'd like to come back to for a bit. You were saying you both have a background in tech, but the juxtaposition. You want to create a place where people can detox from tech. First, what was your background in tech?
So I do graphic design. I started with graphic design and turned it into web development. So I love to do branding and websites and really like to uplift small companies that just don't know how to get there, but their meaning is really strong.
And she also worked in product management as well in Germany before coming out here. So she has an experience working for a couple years within a more corporate setting. And then, for me, I was always curious by developing applications and writing code. And it was something that I was always interested in, but didn't really put the time into. But in the last 5 years or so, things have developed in a way that it's more accessible to those things. So I've been really building things, and it turned into freelance work. And in a big part, working in this industry and was kind of the final push that told us that we need to go do something that's more physically tied to something tangible, because the way that the tech world is changing with everything that's happening within that world so rapidly, we just decided that we wanted to anchor our roots into something that's real and tangible. So that was also a big piece about us making the decision at this point in time to come to Hokkaido to buy something to make a business for ourselves.
Incredible. And Denise, your company is Cherry on the Moon, your consultancy?
Yeah, so both of us are working the Cherry on the Moon, and we've been taking it to Hokkaido in the way that I was surprised how difficult websites have been in Japan. Like, just their functionality and also their language was very restricting. And I found that maybe more foreigners or even Japanese people might have a hard time understanding what these businesses really do and what they want to do. So I've been using it to find businesses around us and just help them get their meaning out more through their branding, through improving their websites, and just helping them understand really who they are.
Yeah.
A big thing that we've noticed coming to Japan that we have been trying to reckon with and work with is we're at a time where it seems more and more foreigners are coming and taking opportunities from Japanese people and extracting the money in a way that we don't feel is fair to the Japanese people that are existing and keeping, it's their country and their place, and we're very cognizant of that. And so we've been working with Japanese companies to help them regain their share. For example, I have a good friend I'm working with who's a ski guide. And before this, he's having to pay a certain amount of his money as a commission to people that are passing clients along to him. But we go out and build a website, and now he's direct booking fully for everything for the winter, retaining all the money himself, keeping it all. So it's we really see this need for Japanese small businesses as tourism is exploding to be able to better hold on to the money themselves, instead of a lot of the relationships it's a foreign booking agent or something like that is then, taking a percentage of what the Japanese people should be getting, but because they don't have a way to interact or to attract the customer themselves because their website is lacking or their branding is lacking or whatever it is. It was really a way that we're well, we have these skills. It's we're running a lodge, but we're now interacting in this world, and we have these skills. We would like to give back, and we would like to help out, and we would like to push these companies forward, because this is our community, and we really view the people that we're around as our community and as the people we're trying to help. We're not trying to contribute to something that's extracting the wealth and, transferring it offshore. It's we're trying to strengthen the Japanese economy that we're existing within.
Wow. This is so much more than just a lodge.
I mean, we are so much more than lodge keepers is the thing.
Yeah.
The lodge is just a physical place for us to create what we've been dreaming about and been thinking about for, I mean, for me, since I was 17 or 18, and really the last 10 years as we've been traveling and living together, we've we've seen a lot of things and we've been a lot of places and we've had a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas and a lot of things that bothered us and a lot of things that inspired us, and we're taking all of those experiences that we had and trying to walk forward into a better future, not just for ourselves, but really we understood is the way that you live the best life that you can live is by uplifting your community, because at the end of the day your community is the thing that impacts you the most. And so we've really
Yeah, but also you were asking if we're gonna do art with guests. And we did have some friends come by and many people that just like stayed for a night or two that we met, and it's really nice to be able to just like offer someone a night to stay and be like, well, I do have all these art supplies. If you're curious, we can just like try it. And everybody was so excited because they maybe haven't drawn in so long, and it feels so good to do it. It's very nice to introduce them back to it.
Yes. And is it in quite a remote area of Tomamu?
I mean, Tomamu in of itself is quite remote. I don't think that we're only a 2.5 minute walk from the post office and the Yakuba, but that's the only thing there really is in town. There's a couple restaurants and there's 3 restaurants, and there's at the resort area, the Hoshino base area, there's a bit of infrastructure and stuff there, but that's 5 kilometers, so a 7 or 8 minute drive. But the town itself, we're very close to the center of what Tomamu town is.
But it's a very vivid community. Like, it seems like there is not so much, but there's like pottery and basketball and volleyball, and there's like people coming together every like few months. It's like it might seem like there's not a lot, but there's so much actually.
It's a very fulfilling place to live, and we've lived in lots of small towns in our journeys and some bigger towns, and this is the quickest and the easiest we have found a thriving community where people are caring about each other and tied into each other's lives in an incredibly fulfilling way. So it's so random that we ended up in Tomamu. It's incredibly random that we ended up there, and it's incredibly fortuitous that we ended up in a place that was so willing to accept us and open their arms to us. And it's already in such a short time that we've been there, our presence would be missed if we were gone. And that is just, I don't know where else in the world really that happens in that sort of time, in that sort of reciprocal way. And so it's been incredibly fulfilling to be there.
The locals have embraced you.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're both obviously very friendly, happy people.
But we've lived a lot of places in the last 10 years as well, so it's not like we've been these friendly, happy, encouraging people in all the places we've lived. But it's with tourism, with the development of these paradises like we talked about, it's increasingly become like people are grabbing their part and closing their arms and just grabbing, because if they open their arms to someone, they're opening up the opportunity that they may lose their piece of paradise. In Tomamu, there's not that feeling. People have open arms, they're encouraging, and there's very much the attitude that we can all live a better life together.
Yeah,
and that's an incredibly unique thing.
Our neighbor just said that we are a nice fresh wind coming in.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I can imagine that. For so many communities, especially in Hokkaido, with the dwindling population and all that, you do need a nice fresh wind. Yeah.
And it's right, with the dwindling population, that opens the doors for these outside companies and corporations or whatever to expand into them. And that's the thing, is then they're taking their piece and they're closing off and they're pulling it and they're extracting the money back to wherever it is. So they were very thankful that we were coming in with the express intention of becoming part of the community, with having our money stay there, with building up the people around us. And Hokkaido 100% needs more of that, and it needs less of this extraction that we're starting to see happen and happen in places like Niseko and Furano and Otaru and stuff like that. So
exactly,
it's definitely a thing. We're definitely conscious of it, and we're definitely doing our part to build the community resilience to that sort of thing as well, and understand our place as foreigners here and the role that we need to play within it all. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful idea. Wakaranai Lodge opening December 2026. And of course, I will link all your websites, Instagram, and things like that in the show notes, folks. If you're looking for a place to stay, well, obviously, you just heard it, folks. Wakaranai Lodge is the place to go.
And I mean, if nothing, like, even if you're not looking for a place to stay and something about this message has touched something in you, and we're we're in a community with all of you, and we're looking also to strengthen not just our local community, but on a wider sense. And it's like we're just as much as we're trying to inspire people to move into a better future, we're also constantly looking for sources of inspiration, encouragement, and other people doing cool things. So if you're out there and this is you're inspired by this and you're touched by this in some way, please reach out, even if you don't have an intention to stay at this point in time. We're always, yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry. A place to stay was maybe a bit simple. If you're looking for an enriching, encouraging, enlightening Hokkaido experience, Wakaranai Lodge is a great place to start. That is awesome. Folks, as always, leave me a kind review, subscribe to the show, and if you would like to support the show and keep my wheels turning, you can buy me some virtual coffees at buymeacoffee.com/cycling Hokkaido. Denise Riley, any closing thoughts?
No, it's just a real pleasure to be sitting here.
To do more art.
To do more art. Well,
Yeah.
That's another part I liked. I was kind of asking about the remoteness of the place because you could kind of sit in the quiet forest and do art.
Yes.
Think about your writing. Think about your music.
And we've been shaping a huge goal for us as it was a bit of a overgrown jungle in the backyard, and not in like a beautiful overgrown jungle sort of way, but like in the ants are biting you and there's lots of prickly things, overgrown jungle sort of way.
But now we have zucchinis and cosmos and these beautiful sunflowers coming
And
up.
clover everywhere, and we're shaping for us the interface between the forest that exists behind it and the lodge, the space in between that, the interface between those zones was a huge focus for us because that's the place where you get to sit and interact with nature, and it needs to be comfortable and needs to be beautiful and it needs to be.
One more thing I wanted to ask about. So you're talking about the garden, growing zucchinis and vegetables. Will you guys be doing the meals?
We at this point in time we don't have a commercial kitchen.
Ah.
There is some ways around it to provide meals for people, and we are looking into those ways, but from a responsibility standpoint and from a time standpoint, we decided not from day one to be doing meals and things like that.
But there is lots of people around us that are making local jam and baking organic bread, and we are connected to all of them. So if you're staying, we'll likely have all the goods from around that you can eat.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this sounds like such a wonderful experience to stay with you guys. One thing we haven't said that we'd be really offside if we didn't talk about. We are doing this in the back of my van in Furano, overlooking a lavender field that is not blooming anymore. But we're also at Brad Bennett's Furano Freewheeling Cycling Festival right now. And we're going to go for a ride tomorrow?
Maybe not. Maybe.
Maybe.
Depends how hot it is.
Denise Riley, thank you very much for episode 157. This has been an excellent conversation. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having us. So we really appreciate it.
Have fun out there, folks. Love ya.